What can Vicky do to keep her daughter's behaviour under control? This week we revealed the police receive 1,000 calls a month from parents reporting their own children for domestic violence. Many of you called to have your say, and we heard from Vicky in St Albans. Vicky was saying that her daughter flies into rages on a regular basis. She'll kick, punch and swear at Vicky unless she gets what she wants. Well, Vicky played us what life is like, just trying to get her daughter ready for school.
Eva, there's a hairband here. Come here.
No! Shut up!
Come here, please.
No!
Okay, I won't do your hair then.
Mommy! Mommy!
I'm doing my hair.
No! Don't! If I see you in there doing your hair, that's it. Right.
Right, don't punch.
You've got to do like...
Stop it. Stop it now. Go on, in your room.
Well, I know many of you are parents. Many of you have told me on Facebook that you have had similar outbursts from your children. But what's your advice? And what can Vicky do to try and keep her daughter's behaviour under control? 03459 455 555. Elizabeth OShea is a parenting specialist and director of the parent coaching service, Parent for Success. Hello, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. First of all, what do you make of that kind of behaviour? Is it fairly common?
Well, it is fairly common. Just because your readers have been saying, your listeners have been coming up with similar incidents, I think a number of families across the UK have mornings similar to that.
What, with a child sounding as if they are the one in control of the household?
Yes, and I think you've hit the nail on the head. Vicky's daughter is in control in that morning scenario, and it's not a healthy place for a 7-year-old to be.
How do you deal with it, though? Because it's so tempting when you hear it to think, oh, you know, I'd go and drag that child to their bedroom and deal with them. But, of course, it's almost as if that it's a bit too late by the point it gets to that stage to start dragging children and throwing your weight around as an adult.
Absolutely. And what was really interesting is Vicky did that, and it's not working. Vicky locked her child in her bedroom and the child was begging to come out, but the behaviour didn't change. And I think people need to realise that punishment and threats don't work. Vicky was recommending sort of like phoning the school to say, or telling the teacher that she hadn't behaved, talking to the police. This child really is out of control, but Vicky needs to take back control. And it sounds like in the last couple of days she's been doing that. She's had some really good advice, and it's about turning that negativity into positivity and turning the really bad behaviour into Vicky starting to take control of that.
So how do you, as an adult, get control of a strong-willed child?
Okay, and I'm going to need to say, first of all, this isn't a quick fix. I work as a parenting coach, and people often come to me. They have 6 90-minute Skype sessions, and I hold their hand while they change their behaviour, and it transforms their children's behaviour. And I've had people coming to me with recordings on their iPhone, exactly like the one Vicky has just played, of their child completely out of control. And by the end of the 6 weeks, it is completely changed. But it's about putting in the right building blocks. So it's about creating the nice times with a child, so praising them, understanding their frustrations rather than ignoring them and saying, right, I'm not listening to you now. And it's understanding their frustrations. It's helping using psychological techniques to change what they're doing. It's going through anger management for children. I teach parents anger management for children so that they can use it with their own children, and about having rules and discipline and routines that Vicky can then set in motion, where Eva will feel able to follow the routine and will feel at the end of the morning she's ready for school, there hasn't been a fuss, and it's about setting all of those things in motion.
On that particular instance, it gets off to a bad start right from the beginning, doesn't it? Her daughter says to her, "Mummy, can you do my hair?"
Yes.
And Vicky says, "No, Mummy's doing her own hair at the moment. Wait for Mummy to do my hair and then I'll do yours."
Yes.
At that point, has Vicky already done something wrong?
Yes, because Vicky hasn't heard how important at that moment or how frustrated Eva is with what she's doing. And Vicky just needed to say, I know how important it is to do your hair. You get on with some of the other things, and in a minute I'm going to do your hair. but what she's saying is, no, I'm not. And so her daughter is automatically seeing that as a red flag, and she's suddenly losing it because she doesn't feel heard, she doesn't feel understood or listened to.
So asking her to do something else until you're ready is what, a distraction technique or what?
Well, I think what it is, it's actually just empathising with Eva that her hair was really important. Eva became incredibly frustrated and upset over doing her hair. And all the time, Vicky was bashing against her and ignoring her or telling her no, or just they were in a battle. And parents shouldn't be in battles with their children. That's what siblings do. It's not what parents do.
What would you say to someone who said, well, I would pick my battles, and actually at that stage I think I would have just stopped doing my hair and done her hair?
That might have been the right thing to do. But I think what was happening was a whole lot of other situations where there was a lot of anger and a lot of simmering resentments and things that were going on that shouldn't have been there. And I think if they hadn't been there, her daughter wouldn't have lost the control that she did.
Is there also the risk that if she had stopped doing her hair and done her daughter's hair, what she's in effect doing is doing exactly what her daughter wanted, and that's to hand control over to her?
What I would prefer is for Vicky to be teaching Eva to do her own hair and to actually encourage her to do it. And so Eva can feel independent and not feel she has to beg and cajole her mum to do it and lose her temper. It's all about the building blocks, Jonathan. It's all about getting the right things in place so that morning was never going to go wrong. And parents sit back and think, well, no, of course you'll have mornings that go wrong. No, you don't need to have mornings that go wrong. You can actually set things in. What we have to remember is Eva is not a monster. She's a 7-year-old little girl who's out of control, and Vicky needs to take back that control.
Good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed, Elizabeth. Elizabeth OShea, who's a parenting specialist and director of the parent coaching service, Parent for Success.